Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about something that affects us all, anxiety. Anxiety is a universal experience that can strike at any moment. It can feel overwhelming, consuming, and can hold us back from living our lives to the fullest. While many of us turn to medication or therapy to combat anxiety, there is another path to explore. Today, we'll dive into the heart of what causes anxiety and explore powerful strategies for finding peace and balance within ourselves. By the end of this video, you'll have a new set of tools to tap into, no matter what life throws your way. Anxiety is a common human emotion that we feel when our lives are in danger or when we face threatening situations. It is a natural response to perceived danger or threat, and everyone experiences it from time to time. But if it happens a lot and it makes you feel really uncomfortable or unhappy, then it's important to talk to someone about it. Some people feel anxious when there is no such danger or threatening situation in reality. These individuals tend to hide their anxiety emotions by putting on a facade of being good-looking, but inside their heads, they have many thoughts going on, which can be overwhelming. To deal with these thoughts, there are certain practices that one can do according to Buddhism to help deal with anxiety. Buddhist philosophy sees anxiety as a normal feeling that everyone experiences at some point in their life. It's like feeling sad or happy, and it's okay to feel anxious sometimes. The Buddha taught that everyone goes through struggles and difficulties in life, and feeling anxious is a form of suffering that we may experience. One of the main reasons we feel anxious is because we try to hold on to things that are always changing, like our relationships, our possessions, or even our own bodies. We want these things to stay the same forever, but that's just not possible. Because everything in life is constantly changing, it can be hard to accept when things don't go the way we want them to. This is what creates suffering or anxiety in our lives. The first step in dealing with anxiety is to acknowledge its presence. This means that we need to be aware of the anxious thoughts and feelings that arise within us. We need to recognize that these feelings are a natural part of the human experience, and that we are not alone in experiencing them. By acknowledging the presence of anxiety, we can learn to accept it as a natural part of life. Acceptance does not mean that we have to like or approve of everything that happens to us. Rather, it means that we acknowledge the reality of our situation, and we do not resist it. When we resist reality, we create suffering for ourselves. When we accept reality, we can find peace and contentment in the present moment. The second step towards overcoming anxiety, which is mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice that involves being fully present and aware of one's thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without judgment or attachment. It is an essential tool in reducing anxiety and promoting well-being. Mindfulness is divided into 4 rounds, which are being mindful of the body, feelings, mind, and mental states. Being mindful of the body involves paying attention to one's physical sensations, such as breathing, tension, and posture. By doing so, individuals can become more aware of how their body responds to stress and anxiety, which can help them manage their symptoms more effectively. The next round of mindfulness is being mindful of one's feelings. This involves paying attention to one's emotional states, such as fear, worry, or sadness, without judging or reacting to them. By practicing this, individuals can develop emotional regulation and learn to manage their emotions more effectively. Being mindful of one's mind is the third round of mindfulness. This involves paying attention to one's thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes without judgment or attachment. By practicing this, individuals can become more aware of their habitual thought patterns and learn to change their negative thinking habits. The final round of mindfulness is being mindful of one's mental states. This involves paying attention to one's overall mental state, such as calmness, agitation, or distraction. By doing so, individuals can become more aware of their mental state and learn to cultivate positive mental states such as joy, gratitude, and contentment. By practicing mindfulness, individuals can learn to observe their anxious thoughts without judgment or attachment. This creates a space between the individual and their thoughts, allowing them to view their anxious thoughts objectively. Through this process, individuals can develop greater self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a greater sense of inner peace. For example, suppose someone is experiencing anxiety about an upcoming exam. Through mindfulness, they may observe physical sensations such as tension in their body or rapid heartbeat. By being mindful of their feelings, they may become aware of their anxious emotions, such as fear or worry. By being mindful of their thoughts, they may notice negative self-talk such as, "I'm going to fail," or "I'm not smart enough." By being mindful of their mental state, they may observe an overall feeling of agitation or distraction. By practicing mindfulness, the individual can learn to observe these sensations, emotions, and thoughts without judgment or attachment. This allows them to create a space between themselves and their anxiety, enabling them to view their thoughts more objectively. Through this process, they can develop greater self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a greater sense of inner peace, which can help them manage their anxiety more effectively. The practice of compassion is a crucial step towards overcoming anxiety, as it involves developing a sense of kindness, empathy, and understanding towards oneself and others. Anxiety can often lead to self-criticism and negative self-talk, which can further exacerbate the feelings of fear and worry. Therefore, practicing self-compassion can help individuals be more patient and gentle with themselves as they work through their anxious thoughts and feelings. This means treating oneself with the same kindness and understanding that one would offer to a close friend who is struggling. By practicing self-compassion, individuals can cultivate a sense of self-worth and self-acceptance, which can help them feel more grounded and secure in their own skin. Practicing compassion towards others can also be helpful in overcoming anxiety. When individuals are feeling anxious, they may feel isolated and alone, which can further perpetuate their worries and fears. However, by reaching out to others and offering compassion, individuals can cultivate a sense of connection and belonging. This means being willing to listen and empathize with others, even when one is feeling overwhelmed with their own emotions. By doing so, individuals can build a support network that can help them through difficult times, while also fostering a sense of community and mutual understanding. In this way, practicing compassion can help individuals overcome their anxiety by cultivating a sense of inner strength and connection to others. The fourth step is to cultivate a sense of impermanence. According to Buddhist philosophy, all things are impermanent and subject to change. Anxiety, like all things, is impermanent and will eventually pass. By recognizing the impermanence of anxiety, individuals can learn to let go of their attachment to it and focus on the present moment. For example, let's say you are experiencing anxiety about an upcoming job interview. You may worry that you will fail the interview, not get the job, and suffer the consequences of unemployment. Then we may try to resist the anxiety by telling ourselves that we shouldn't feel this way. We may try to push the anxiety away or distract ourselves from it. However, if we acknowledge the anxiety and accept it as a natural part of the human experience, we can learn to let go of our attachment to it. We can recognize that the anxiety is impermanent and it will pass in time. By accepting impermanence, you can free yourself from the anxiety that comes from worrying about the future. We can recognize that anxiety is impermanent and it will pass in time. This can help us to find peace and contentment in the present moment, even when we are experiencing difficult emotions. The fifth step towards overcoming anxiety is practicing non-attachment, emphasizes the importance of letting go of one's attachment to things, people, and emotions. When people become attached to their thoughts and emotions, particularly anxious thoughts, they tend to identify with them and get caught up in them, which can worsen the intensity and frequency of their anxiety. Practicing non-attachment can be challenging, but it is a key aspect that can help individuals reduce anxiety. One way to practice non-attachment is to develop awareness of one's thoughts and emotions. To cultivate this awareness, one can practice mindfulness meditation, which creates a little space between us and our thoughts, which separates us from our thoughts. Most of the time, when we feel fear or worry, we think that the thoughts are ourselves. We think, "I am the anxiety," but we are not the anxiety. Our thoughts are anxiety. When we become aware of this, it creates a little space between us and our thoughts, and we realize that our thoughts are not ourselves. It's like the sky and clouds. Imagine that you are sitting outside on a sunny day looking up at the sky. The sky is always there, but clouds come and go, sometimes big and fluffy, sometimes small and wispy. You observe them without becoming attached to them, without trying to hold on to them or make them stay. You simply watch them come and go. The final step is to practice generosity. The act of practicing generosity can be a powerful tool in overcoming anxiety. Generosity involves giving of oneself to others without expecting anything in return. When we give without the expectation of receiving, we shift our focus from ourselves to others. This shift can help to alleviate the self-centeredness that often fuels anxiety. Practicing generosity can also help individuals feel more connected to others. Anxiety often leads to feelings of isolation and disconnection from others. However, by giving of ourselves to others, we build meaningful connections and relationships, which can create a sense of belonging and purpose. In essence, practicing generosity helps to cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. It shifts our focus away from our own worries and fears and allows us to see the world with more empathy and compassion. In turn, this can help to reduce anxiety and promote a sense of well-being. Remember, anxiety is just a thought, and thoughts can be changed. By practicing mindfulness, cultivating compassion, and embracing impermanence, we can learn to surf the waves of anxiety rather than getting swept away by them. Anxiety doesn't have to control you. By learning to manage it, you can take back control of your life and live it to the fullest. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more helpful videos like this one. Thank you again for watching, and remember to stay mindful.